To create the buttons, we're going to use a program called Fireworks. Fireworks is good because it creates what we call a PNG file type, which is a graphic that's made specifically for the web. Okay, so we're going to start off by clicking on Create New and Fireworks Document, and you can see then that we're asked to come up with how big we want the document to be. So the image at the minute is 500 by 500 pixels, which is probably about a third of the screen across. Now for a button, that's probably going to be a little bit too big, so I'm going to reduce that down to about 150 pixels by about 100 for now. Now we can resize this at any point, so it doesn't matter if you don't get it right first time. Okay. The only other thing that you need to think about is what you want the canvas colour to be. At the minute it's set as white. We can set it to be transparent, or we can set it to be a custom colour. Again, you can change it at any point, but I'm going to choose transparent to start off with. I'm going to click on OK. And you can see now the canvas for the button has been loaded up. Now to get started, you need to think about how you want your button to look. So I'm going to keep mine quite simple, and I'm going to create the text for the button, home. I'm also going to choose a shape to go on the background. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to choose the T tool, which is the text tool. I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas, and I'm going to write the word home. Now, by using the selection arrow, which is the black arrow underneath the word select in the toolbars, I can move that around the canvas wherever I want, and I know that it's selected from the blue box around it. I can use the properties at the bottom of the screen to change the font, and I can change the size of the font using the slider. If you do at any point want to go bigger than 96, you can type in a number at the bottom. Obviously that's going to be too big for my button, so for now I'm going to go with size 30, or around size 30. There we go. You can also use the properties at the bottom to change the colour, so I'm going to keep it red. And you can also, if you can see this pencil tool, you can change the outline colour as well. One final thing that you might want to do is apply a filter, so we can play around with the different filters and see what they do. For now, I'm going to keep mine simple, and I'm just going to put a drop shadow on. There we go. And if I want to remove it, I just select the filter and I can press the minus button at the bottom. Now to add a shape, I'm going to be looking at the vector section of the toolbar, and I'm going to be using the rectangle tool. Now I can simply just click on the rectangle and draw it out onto my canvas, but there are other options, and if you press and hold your left mouse button, then you can see the different options that come up. Okay, and if you just scroll down to select one and let go of the mouse button, that option will become selected. Now I'm going to draw out my shape over the word home, just like I would if I was doing this in Word or PowerPoint. And you can see that I've got a box now over the top of the word. First of all, I'm going to change the colour from the properties at the bottom, just like I did with the colour of the font. And I can change the colour of the outline if I like. I'm going to keep mine black, but you can also change the thickness of the line. Okay, now be careful not to make it too thick, otherwise it won't look very good. Normally, about 3 or 4 will give you a thick enough line. Now I can, if I wanted to, apply filters like I did before to my text. You can apply the same filters, so you can put things like shadows and glows. You might also want to try things like bevels to make them look 3D, or embossed to make them look like they're pressed into the page. I'm going to keep mine as it is for now. I'm not going to apply any filters. What I am going to do is change the order of the layers so that I can put the word home over the top of the rectangle. Now I do this over on the right hand side in the layers menu, and I'm going to click and hold the rectangle, and I'm going to drag it just below the word home. Okay, now I can finish it off by just making it as central as I possibly can. And as you can see at the minute, I've got a lot of canvas that's actually not being used. So if I go to fit canvas, it will remove any of the unused canvas for me, so I don't have to mess around changing my canvas size. The last thing I want to do is click on save and make sure that I save it somewhere where I'm going to be able to find it later, such as my desktop. Just change that to desktop. I'm going to give it a suitable name, home button. Now if you want to make any more buttons, once you've got the first one made, it's easy to make the rest, because all you really need to do is double click on the text, and you can delete what you wrote originally, and I can just overtype what I want the new button to be. So I could call this About Us, and then I can just drag that across a bit to make it fit. Now as you can see, just about fits, but it's always a good idea to start with your longest button first. So think about what you want it to say on each of your buttons. As soon as you're happy with the next button, we just go File, we save as, and we're going to give it a different file name. So About Us button. So that's just going to save you a lot of time once you've made the first button.